Any early team news, players in contention, players absent, any bumps and bruises ahead of this big one on Sunday, Ralph?
So far, we have not really big injury problems in the moment, so nearly everybody is fit.
Great news. Can I just ask you about your club captain, James Ward-Prowse? Obviously amid interest from other big clubs, he's signed a new contract until 2026. Describe your reaction to that news.
Yeah, he had a 4-year deal, now he has a 5-year deal, so the good thing is that we finally can stop any discussion we had about transfer from him or whatever. So we can definitely stop this discussion. I'm happy that this is sorted out.
Ralph, can you just explain why he is so important to you and what he brings to the group and what he brings to the club?
Yeah, we speak very often about the role model for this club, and if you want to find one, Prowse is the one who is here for a long time now, was coming here as a young player and made it to the captain of this club, of his team. And yes, I think he is something of a player what everybody can identify with, and we are very happy to have him here.
Ralph, how much of a lift do you expect that news to give the fans and the club for this huge game on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's a clear message, it's a clear statement from him, for the club. And this is definitely important, but more important is that on the weekend we as a team show this or send this message to the people out there that we are willing to fight for this club and to fight for points.
Ralph, losing Vestergaard and Ings so close to the start of the season, can I just ask you how disturbing that was and how disruptive that was, and what positions would you like to strengthen if possible before the end of the month, Ralph?
At first, disruptive it was, especially with Ingsy, because he was the whole preseason with us. Yannick was only 1 week here before he left after being away from the Euros. So both are important, have been important players, especially on the centre-back positions. We have not that big alternatives in the moment, so this is definitely a position we will want to do something until the end of the transfer window. And I can guarantee you that we will sign a player on this position. And but for the reason that both had only 1 year left, it was the only thing we could do as a club, and we, I think, did a good job in getting a lot of money for both, and finally could replace them with other players. And when we can manage this, then we need time to find each other. We have until now a few good signings made this season, young players with potential. We start building them up, we start working with them, we start making them better, that they become really good Premier League players, and one time maybe in the future they will leave us to a bigger club, whatever. But this is the way we go, and still important that we are successful and we stay in the league.
Okay, we'll go to Rob Scanlon at PLP.
Hi Ralph.
Hello.
It's the first home match of the season, and with your fans back, will you, as you walk out there for the warm-up and when the teams come out and into the stadium, will you think back to all those games behind closed doors last season, and how much will it mean to you to see the fans and the smiles and everyone excited just to be enjoying football again with you?
Yeah, this is a special moment, I think, for everybody when you have the full stadium at home and the full crowd. I mean, this is for every footballer amazing, and even if it's the home fans, even better. I think we had last season against them a very good home game. We were 2 up and then finally lost it because of a not so good second half. But we are willing to show our habits, our behaviors, and make it for them as uncomfortable as possible. We know that this is a good side. They won the first game 5-1 against Leeds. This is a massive statement, and finally we know what we are facing on the weekend.
You mentioned that amazing home game last season against them. Will you use that, or the last time you met them at Old Trafford, in your discussions with the team this week or in the build-up to the match?
No, because when you are after 2 minutes, one man down, it doesn't really make sense to discuss this game. It was a completely game that has no influence on our behaviors, and so we must concentrate on the good things we did against them in the game before. And I think it will be tough. It will be an interesting, also tactically game for us. But we will be definitely there.
And just finally for me, that they have this extraordinary away record, almost since Bruno Fernandes kind of signed for the club. I mean, do you see them, what challenge do you see from them this season? Are they an improved side even from last season with the recruitment that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made?
Yeah. They are not getting worse. This is clear. When you win the first game 5-1 and then afterwards in that way you still make 2 signings because you think you're not good enough, then you know what we're speaking about. I mean, this is a absolutely team for the title, for the champion, and it's a different expectation they have to their season than we have to ours. But the nice thing is in the Premier League that there's always a way to win, and there's always a chance to win also against such big teams. And I think in the past we have shown very often against the top teams very good performances since I'm here. And we will be brave.
Okay, we'll go to Adam at Radio Solo.
Ralph, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Adam.
Hi. Tell me about Adam Armstrong settling in. Great first goal on his debut last week. Can he replace Danny Ings? Now you've had a couple of weeks to look at him properly in training. Can he be that man, the next one?
Doesn't have to be. It's always important for you or for the fans that they have something like a top scorer. But for me, it's more important that we are as a team dangerous and create chances, that everybody scores. This is for me more important, and that he can score goals. He has shown, and then he also can work for the team. He also has shown, and this is important for me. He knows how to press. He knows how to be on the front foot, and this is important for me. And also the lads have seen that he can help us.
You left some integral players from last season's team on the bench last week, notably Armstrong, Bednarek, Walker-Peters. How big a call was that, and how close are they to pushing for a place back in the starting team?
The starting 11 on the first match day is never the 11 that ends up in the end of the season. So we have 38 games. I'm very, very happy that we have on every position now more quality. The squad is much more balanced. And we need everybody, and the season is long, and that can make the difference in a long season. It's not matter when you have the good run; you need to have it once for longer, and then that can help you massively. And therefore, it's always helpful if you have a bigger side and bigger alternatives. And this is what we have this season, definitely.
And one thing you will be sick of talking about, which we've talked about many times. The game last season against Manchester United at St Mary's, you led at half-time and lost. It happened against Everton on the first game of this season. You've talked about improving game management, in-game management during matches, and the club has a habit, unfortunately, of losing when they've led the match. How can you solve that, or how closer are you getting to solving it? Because it seems to be a thorn in the side of the team last few years.
Yeah, there are always two sides, huh? The good start that we very often have, and it's in the Premier League definitely always difficult to have a clean sheet, and the goals we conceded in the last game, when you speak about that after the halftime, it doesn't have to do with any plan B or shape or whatever. When you get a set piece goal in this situation, it always hurts you, but then I think we have been good in the game until the final 15 minutes, and then we did a few things what we didn't do the whole 70 minutes before, and I think this is what we have talked about and how we can change this. And it's always about working on this stuff. And then I'm sure that we have also shown that we can turn tables around for our side, and after a bad start coming back or keeping the clean sheets until the end. But we are always facing top quality, and you cannot avoid 90 minutes any chance for them. They are too good, and they all have strikers in their team. They can make from one chance a goal, and we get really punished in the last game, I think. But in the end, we also saw that we have made for a long time a very good game, I think.
Thank you, Ralph. Good luck Sunday.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, we'll go to Mark at PA.
Hi, Ralph.
Hello.
I just wondered if I could ask, in terms of, we've seen a lot lately of players that might be angling to get away from clubs and looking for moves and using what would normally be used as the term player power. When it comes to the deal that James has signed, I'm going to assume, given the character that he is, that you had no issues with that during the summer. He was always
Yeah.
to stay at Southampton.
Yeah, I've never had the thought that he could leave us, to be honest. This was a completely different situation to Ings and Vestergaard, where we knew that the power is moving to the player, and then you have, as a club, we are not the only club that loses a player when he has only 1 year left, because when players are not willing to sign a new contract, this is the only alternative you have. That doesn't mean that you have to let them go for nothing, so you need to have a good money for them, and then you can reinvest the money, and that is what we do, and what we will also do in the future.
If Danny and Vestergaard moving on, was getting James to sign also a statement from the club to say, look, we can keep our best players?
Definitely, yes. I mean, as we said, we are a club that develops players, and we will always be a club that also sells players at one point. That will be also in the future, the part. But this also happens to the very big ones. So it's not about that we are the end of the, or the other on this level where we don't have to sell players anymore. No, but this is okay. I think sometimes it is hard for the fans to leave players. For me also, I would like to have Danny for the next 5 years here. But sometimes players decide to make the next step and not to decide to be a legend for a club. And when you have to accept that as a manager, then you must keep on going. And then there are new players coming in, and you hopefully have the right choice, and then bring a new one in, and he's then a new hero for the fans.
You said the word legend there. Would we say James Ward-Prowse is or could be a Southampton legend?
Yeah, I mean, he decided to go this way, and that doesn't mean that he stays here forever. But I think when you are that long in a club, you get a special position in a club and in the heart of the fans. And I think this is what players sometimes don't see. You can earn a lot of money everywhere, but you have seldom the chance to become a legend, I think. And when you have this chance, I think it's too often then not important enough for the players anymore. Maybe this was a little bit different in the past.
Right, thanks, Ralph. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. Good afternoon, Ralph.
Good afternoon.
One of the things I've noticed you mentioned in the past week or so is that your squad is more balanced now. And I guess you mean in terms of depth. But what we have seen is a lot of experience leave. So, in not saying you're in a difficult moment now, but in the future, if difficult moments arise on the pitch or things aren't going your way, you've lost Danny, Ryan and Yannick. I mean, who are the kind of characters you're looking for now in terms of the experience?
I know that experience is something that especially journalists like to talk about, how important they are for a team. I can tell you that I was a vice champion with RB Leipzig, I think with the youngest team in the Bundesliga. And I know that it's not only about you need a few players. Yes, they need to talk, but much more important is that you have players. They follow a clear rule and a clear plan, and sometimes this is more important than having leaders on the pitch or whatever. I mean, everybody's a leader for me on the pitch, and everybody who starts the pressing, for example, is taking the lead and taking the responsibility at that moment to go. And I think. We have enough experience in our team, definitely, and there is something creating a new hierarchy, if you want, in the team. This is can be also positive. We have, I must say, a very good atmosphere, what means working hard and putting a lot of effort in the sessions. And this is no guarantee for winning games, for us never, but it's a good fundament, a good basement. And when you build on this, then the moment will come when you are with these young players, with these new players, also successful, and you have to give them time, and you have to work with them, and then you will see that in the end the club is on a good way.
Is something you like about the younger players where they perhaps, they haven't got so much downloaded in their mind already? some of the players you signed this summer, like Tino Livramento, for example. You know, he's not had loads of ideas, different systems, different methods put in his head. That you can get your message across much easier with these younger players.
No, this is not always like this. I mean, yes, we had made the experience that sometimes when the hard disk is full and it's a little bit more difficult because you have to just forget what you have learned and then learn something new maybe. But with Theo Walcott, this was not a little issue because he was immediately there and he was very experienced. He had heard a lot of things in modern football, but he was tactically very smart and immediately knew what he has to do. I think the good thing for the young players, and this is what you have seen also against Everton, when I see Tino Livramento playing in the beginning, how quick he was stepping in a game on highest level, first time from the beginning of the Premier League, and I didn't see him being nervous or whatever. In the end, he was a little bit running out of energy because the intensity and the tempo in the Premier League is so high. But even then, he tried to play forward, he tried to go. And this shows you the mentality and the character and the belief in what he is doing. And these are the guys we need in the future.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you.
Okay, Ian Baker.
Hello there, Ralph, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you?
If I can just ask you some stuff for Sunday papers. The 9-0 last season, that must have hurt. Can I just ask you how you felt after that game?
No, because I don't know you anymore. It's so long ago, and as I said, a special situation with one man down after 2 minutes, two men down after 60 minutes, or 70 minutes. What should I tell you about this game? It is not worth to speak about it. Afterwards, we knew that this was a red card, it wasn't a penalty. What should I care about this game anymore? I mean, this is stupid to speak about that.
So is it one that you were able to write off quite quickly, look, just a bad day, let's move on, and it's still not in anyone's minds anymore?
Definitely not, no. I mean, since then we had a lot of games and never was the topic where we should discuss about a game where we had been down numbers after 2 minutes and with all the academy players on the pitch. I mean, this is not really worth to speak about that.
Okay, we go to Ben Fisher.
Hi Ralph, obviously the good news with James this week. How important do you think that was that somebody sort of said no and said this is where I want to be, I want to be a legend, to sort of use your words?
Yeah, especially when you are knowing his history here, that he was grown up here and then made it until he was the captain of the team, and I made him to the captain, and I think he did a very fantastic job there in the last 2 years, in the last year as a captain the whole season, and I think that shows him and us how important he is for us as a club. And yes, good message, definitely. He must feel comfortable. We must feel good with him, and both is a win-win situation. So everything okay.
And can I just ask, in terms of obviously Man United have spent a fair bit of money this summer. Manchester City obviously 100 million on Jack Grealish. Chelsea the same. Do you feel that gap to the clubs, those big clubs, is perhaps bigger than ever? How do you see it?
The gap will be always there. This is what we know. This is the highest level in European football, the Premier League. Everybody wants to be there. Everybody wants to be part of, and we don't only want to be like the food for the big ones. So we want to also get our points, and I think. There's always a chance. As I said, you can face the best teams in the world. There's very often very difficult to win against them, but we have shown this in the past when you have a good day that everything is possible, and yeah, why not?
Okay. Thanks, Ralph. All the best.
Thank you.
Dan Rose.
Afternoon, Ralph. You okay?
Yeah.
First of all, you've spoken a lot about obviously young players and developing and working with young players throughout your time at the club. One player you have brought in, obviously on loan from Chelsea, who we've not seen yet, is Armando Broja. Just what's it been like working with him, and how's he settling into the group? How close is he to getting involved in match action?
Yeah, I mean, he was coming in, and the first week he showed that he needs a little bit more time, I think, to adapt to the game we have. This pressing is for him a little bit more new than for Adam, for example, but give him time. Young player, he's definitely has some qualities. They can help you, and I'm sure that he will make a few games for us.
Someone like him, who's obviously very highly rated at Chelsea and comes with a good pedigree as well, how good a platform is Southampton to learn for a young player, and how much can it benefit both clubs?
Yeah, I think when we have a history of developing players and give them a chance to play the Premier League, then it's us, and this everybody knows so far. And our goal must be also in the future to bring the best young players to our club. They didn't make it in other clubs to play there consistently. And then develop them, and then also know that they will leave us one day. But then they had a good time with us, and we had a good time with them. And this is the deal we have.
Thank you, Al.
Thank you.
Okay, Alex Crook.
Hi, Ralph. Just wanted to ask you about Jadon Sancho, probably somebody that you would have faced in your time in Germany, obviously in the Premier League now. Do you expect him to be a success, and how much are you worried about facing him at the weekend?
Yes, I know him. Yes, I think he has a good impact for the Premier League, definitely. And no, we are not scared when he plays on the weekend. Yes, I know that he's a strong player, but I think they have so much quality in Man United, so that it is also against Greenwood and the other players very tough to defend. But we must do it together, committed, and very, very disciplined.
You mentioned earlier that their aims for this season are obviously different to yours. With the signings that they've made, the ones you've alluded to, do you think they are a team who can genuinely challenge for the title this season?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
I mean, what gives you that impression? Why are they stronger this season than they were last?
Yeah, I mean, not only because of the signings they made, also that Ole is now working with them quite a long time now, and with every year you get more committed to each other. It's clearer what you want to do, and that there's massive quality in this side, and that they're getting more and more consistent in their performances, as they have shown last season, and they also can show it after this Sunday again.
Right. Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you.
Okay, Tom Leach.
Hi Ralph, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Just on the goalkeepers, you told us last season that the goalkeeper battle was going to stretch into the new campaign. Alex McCartney starting against Everton. Can we expect to see maybe a change in goal for Sunday, or if not, then for the game that follows?
Yeah, we will definitely also give Fraser a chance to play in the beginning, maybe in the cup, but he will also get the chances to play, that's for sure. Yeah.
Just on that, when it comes to picking a goalkeeper long term, if you are going to get to the stage when you maybe do have a long term number one, how much do their contract situations play into that? Because I think both are on course to expire at the end of the season, I think. But if you get to a situation where one is more willing to commit his future to the club than the other, is it more likely that you will stick with that one?
We will definitely extend the contract for one keeper, and then maybe the other one will then leave, because I think in the future we will try to get a new one in also next season. This is maybe a topic, but there's still a long way to go to that point.
Okay, right, thank you.
Thank you.